Hello, welcome to yet another day, another stream. I am excited because of our plans for today. You know, it's weird editing these streams into videos after because I realize all of my imperfections. I don't know if you guys are the same way when you hear a recording of your voice, or you see the way you move, or the little weird things your body and your face does when you're on camera. I don't know. All those things that you don't think about, I've just been thinking a lot about lately. It's just an interesting experience I'm trying to overcome. I also realized that when you're creating content and videos, you could be like at 150% energy, but the camera only picks up like half of that. So you're only like coming across as 75% energy. So as like, I don't know, which is something that I don't really like, because I don't want to be like infomercially, you know, where they're just like overly happy and overly excited, because I feel fake when I do that. Like, I understand when you're like trying to, I don't know, maybe being fake is good. Maybe being fake would get me more viewers and stuff, but I guess what I'm more interested in is just doing stuff that I love to do. So yeah, I appreciate all the feedback and stuff you guys are giving me. I've also been paying more attention to like my diction, the way I talk. I'm very aware of my accent, my American sort of Southern accent. So I don't know, that's just something that I've been realizing lately when editing a whole bunch of videos. Anyway, let's skip all that stuff. Let's get to the goods. So we have a new Ashes of Creation video to check out. Another month, another video. Hey, look, there I am right there. See, you like look at a picture like this. Okay, you guys can't see that super well. But you look at a picture like this, and you're like, man, that's like not flattering at all. But I don't know. That's where we're at right now. Who knows? Maybe things would get more polished in the future as we go along. But yeah. Whew. All right. It looks like we got 2 new videos, which I'm excited for.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another stream day.
Ooh, it's a 25 minutes here. You know, like one day I'll get a 4K screen so I can like really just soak in the beauty that is video nowadays. But in the meantime, I do not have that kind of money. So we won't be doing that. Okay.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another stream day on Ashes of Creation. I hope you guys are all doing great out there. We are here back with another video in the Alpha 1.
You guys can hear it.
Of Ashes.
But I can't hear it. Let me figure out what's going on here. Yeah, see, you guys can hear that.
Ashes of Creation on Vera, and I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, one of my...
It's doing that thing again. Alright, we're just gonna have to turn down the sound.
My favorite people in the world, Mr. Hello everybody, and welcome to another stream day on Ashes of Creation. I hope you guys are all doing great out there. We are here back with another video in the Alpha 1 of Ashes of Creation.
I'm digging the volcano in the background.
And I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, one of my favorite people in the world, Mr. Michael Bacon.
Oh, you built that up way too much.
Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Very happy to have you here. I know the audience, you're a fan favorite, Michael. You know that.
We'll turn it down right there.
And we'd love to hear.
I get super excited for these videos.
You know, about what really goes into making an MMO world, because you have a ton of experience and you've worked on so many projects, and you know, just going through your portfolio is like seeing.
I don't want to pause too much, but one of the things that I look for the most in the game is the strategy of it and how immersive it is. Like, yes, I think I subconsciously enjoy the combat and the way my character moves and feels, but that's not what I like really latch onto. I think what I latch onto is the immersiveness and the systems of the game, like how I can be strategic about how I like manage my resources, upgrade my levels, like try to make the most like OP person. And I don't know, I've just been thinking about that because there's been so many comments about the combat of Ashes of Creation, and I understand that is the staple of the game, but I don't know if that's the part that I'm most excited for.
Some of the legendary games that we've all loved and treasured over the years.
Dude, you're building this up way too much.
I'm just being honest.
How am I going to follow that?
No, but I mean, you and the team, the environment team, are doing such an amazing job. Every time I'm watching updates of the world just being built, I'm like, oh, this is getting better and better.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the team's done an amazing job. For
yeah,
sure.
The foliage is looking way better than it was before.
How's so far for this Alpha 1 with you guys?
Good. I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, obviously, it's the biggest game I've ever worked on.
His microphone.
But yeah, everybody's excited with the work that we're doing, and we really like the way this biome's turning out, which is great.
Yeah, the biome is turning out great. As a matter of fact, I have my UI turned off just so I can get the full like look at everything. And we're actually, we're in a pretty interesting spot right now in this particular map. We're on top of a giant like rock canopy, aren't we?
Yep, that's where we are. Over the kind of Pirate Cove kind of area.
Maybe we can like walk.
Man, they were teasing pictures about this.
So what's been some of your favorite aspects of this particular milestone for Alpha 1?
Yeah, man, I'm excited.
Kind of this world's...
This Pirate Cove. If it's what I think it is.
Yeah, I guess I can. What was the question again?
So great.
It does look pretty good.
What's been some of your favorite aspects?
See, this is what I kept commenting about in the last video, is how in the combat videos they've been showing, there's been no grass or foliage on the ground like this. So it's just been like a flat texture. And I've expressed myself a lot. Like, it used to be like this rock, how it's just a flat texture. And I kept expressing how I did not like that. So I'm glad to see that they do have it. And maybe you just didn't have it turned on in the settings, and maybe it's just because it's pre-alpha.
Of this
I don't
Alpha
know. It
1,
just makes me really happy to see
building this part of the
them
world.
actually fill.
Obviously the environment is gorgeous. Just the content, or the theme that we used on it with the
Is that too quiet?
tropics. Sorry, I cannot do this at the same time. I'm like crisscrossing hands now, trying to get the thing to. You got using this push to talk thing. It's like crazy. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, right here. I'm sorry.
I can only walk straight and talk at the same time.
Oh, you're killing me. That's so great. This is gonna be great. No, that's fine. Let's go up here to like the edge.
What a boomer! You can't push two buttons
and talk at the same time with this vista. I guess.
Yeah.
I love the canopy nature of this. Hold on. Let me see if I can jump on a mount. Oh, I need to show my UI. Well, that's not what I'm looking for.
Man, that map
guys,
is looking
we're doing
sick
this
too.
live, and by live I mean we're recording it the night before, and there's not going to be any editing.
Yeah. So anyway, just the tropics. That's just the nature of the tropics biome.
The inventory.
This is really cool. We're excited. I'm just
The inventory is looking pretty good.
Like the rock canopy that we're on right now is just huge. It's just really cool to, take in the space.
No way.
I just jumped off the edge. To show the distance.
I'm just jumping right in the water.
Oh, shoot, man.
Did you jump?
This is looking sick.
I took 150 in damage.
Oh, no, did
man.
you die?
No, surprisingly.
Let me, I'm gonna swim over just to kind of give everybody the perspective of this huge rock canopy.
Yeah,
Like,
this
ships
place
can
is huge.
float through and whatnot. Or sail through, I guess. Another thing that's been interesting is, and maybe not a lot of players get the opportunity to see, is, there's obviously considerable portions of the map that, still need to be built and have
The sand
cool-
dragon
oh,
behind
wow,
the tail.
some weird-looking seaweed over here. I'm actually really concerned. Where'd you go? Are you in the water?
No, well, I'm out of the water. I'm on the shore.
Which shore
Yeah,
did you go? Did you go north or south?
I think I went south.
I went south too.
I should be just underneath the rock canopies. You talking about the kind of black seaweed? Is that going on? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, it's not supposed to be black.
I was like, it's ominous. Ominous.
It's not supposed to be black.
Yeah, it's all
issues going on there.
alpha stuff.
We'll figure it out. This is work in project. Or progress,
Yeah,
people.
this
Yeah,
is like a living organism.
Try to come out near the southern entrance where it like goes
Hey,
back
the
towards
waves on the
main
water is
island
an
and the water
update.
is
It
still
used to not be
under
like
the
that.
canopy.
Okay, hold on a second.
Another thing
That's
I love
looking
about
so good.
so far has been about this map is that, and probably everybody in the audience knows this, is that giant volcano. I try to put it in as many parts of the screenshots that I leak.
It's going to be in every biome.
I know.
Like everyone.
Just like a unique volcano for each biome.
The volcano
Where
is
do you
pretty
say you
sick.
went?
So I'm looking at the volcano, and I'm over near the entrance to this canopy on the ground, like at the sea level.
Look at how
Okay, I'm
sweet
way
this
ahead of
looks.
All right, hold on a second.
So another thing that's cool about the map has a lot of water, obviously, and this is the area of this world, of the world map of Vera. This particular area has really cool like coastal inlets and coves and whatnot. That's going to make obviously ship play pretty fun. But how's it been kind of
Yeah, the ship play. How do you guys feel that's gonna turn out? I'm a little skeptical. I don't know if I've ever played a game where I've really liked the ship play. I haven't played Sea of Thieves, no. Yeah, maybe if I played Sea of Thieves, that I would like it better. But I don't know, ship play.
building this.
It sounds so
world with
cool,
all this
but
ocean content and just
I
kind of
haven't
like
really liked
planning
it.
for what's going to be in the water.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
I can imagine.
a lot of stuff. I mean, just the sheer size of it's crazy. I mean, just
I kind of like the
populating it
Assassin's
and
Creed
detailing it out is
water play, how you could like
task. Let's just put it that way.
sail and like
Yeah, for sure.
take out the guys on ships and stuff.
Has it been have there been any like real discoveries that you've made in the process of like going through building the Alpha 1 and the portion of the world map that Alpha 1 encompasses that has caused you kind of as an environment team to rethink approaches and like change things essentially?
Oh, geez, that's like daily. Yeah, for sure. But the node system in general is, it's work in progress. a lot of variables going into it, and just
They definitely like
trying to
turned up
figure
the
out
graphics and stuff because this is
problems that we
looking
come up with,
a lot better
just
than their
creating this
past
kind of sheer
videos.
size of a world, and
It's looking really good.
getting everything to work properly.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been actually really interesting to see the node system progress, out of its kind of first functional stages that we had it in, now to its, more scalable stage where it's leveraging custom tool sets and technology to kind of to propagate the node system from level to level in real time.
Yeah, it's been really exciting. That specific system.
Platform system, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's been neat watching it kind of grow into what it's becoming. I think
the sand, how it gets darker
hitting,
where the water's been.
Metropolis is really gonna.
That's really cool.
Really cool stuff with it.
Yeah, for sure. And the cool thing, and what was always kind of my concern, I guess, initially when I thought of the node system in the first place, was how we can make sure that the representation of these various cities across the world are going to be diverse and not just cookie cutter kind of representation of what players are going to see and say, oh, this is the same looking human city I saw all the way across the map.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think the system that you guys, you and Roy were working on really helped to capture that diversity.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, like I think it'll be so much more fun to explore the world that they're creating if they have unique elements in every city.
Getting the layouts, the different layout possibilities,
Ooh,
for
a
that
little
kind
crab
of moving and squared away. Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah, it was like the.
They're not moving. They're
the amount of diversity that we can get with cities are going to be pretty amazing.
Dude, the seaweed is so scary. I don't know where you're at, actually.
In the weeds somewhere.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I think I'm under the rocks.
You're under the rocks.
In that main inlet. Yeah.
All right, let me come. I'm gonna come into the main inlet area and try to find. One other thing that's been interesting: how many biomes are gonna be in Ashes?
Man, they gotta fix their mics, man.
Top your head.
I think it was like 20, right?
Yeah, I think it's 18.
18.
Basically 20. Yeah.
18
It was
biomes.
a lot.
Yeah.
Wait.
And
that is a lot, especially
and
for
how do we go
the very
about
beginning,
generally kind of, coming up with these biomes? I know that players have seen the world map, and they've seen kind of that cut up and represented through different terrains, and, like tundra and snow and grass.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just wanted to represent just about every biome type under the sun, really, and just have enough diversity over the world that, like, when you went from area to area, you really just got a contrast of, different biome types and, being able to experience that. So, I mean, I think we just went for as wide as possible, pretty much.
Yeah, I remember, gosh, it must have been.
Are they all like realistic biomes, or is there?
When you first kind of developed that mega confluence section on
was that a cave over there?
Different examples and reference images, real world images of the visual diversity that exists in our real world on Earth, and how we can take that as inspiration and fantasize it up a bit, and employ them throughout the world of Era.
Yeah, and that's still a work in progress. I mean, we're constantly as we're going through like the conceptual paths and things on the biomes that we're still working out. Just adding as much of that sort of high fantasy element to them. So cool. Yeah, when they're done, they're going to be something really cool to gander at.
Oh yeah, I mean, it really sets the stage. Really.
Wait, what did that say that he just walked past?
Cool. To
dwarf. Sorry, go back again.
To them, so yeah, when they're done, they're going to be, they're going to be something really cool.
Dwarf captive? Go free the dwarf.
To gander at.
Oh yeah, I mean, it really sets the stage.
It's like a shipwreck,
in my opinion, when you kind of like are part of these.
Yeah, the underwater view is like one of the main things that needs to be fixed. I feel like.
Be immersed and kind of captivated by what resembles real world, biome, but also has that more realistic fantasy that just kind of sets it apart and takes it up a notch.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of our, like kind of like we had kind of set like early on where we would have 1 foot in sort of real world and second foot, kind of up in the air, the stratosphere, with the fantasy element of it. So we're just kind of trying to straddle that line between the two, to get a real grounded, feel of the environments, but then at the same time, there are high fantasy elements of it, cool silhouettes, that we do with the vegetations and rock formations and that kind of thing, and and really just punching up the amp,
right.
Just trying to like punch up the environments, in a way that's just like they're just gorgeous and they're fun to play, and they're just super immersive.
I'm still trying to find you. I'm directly under this structure. Where are you at?
All right, hold on a second.
Like if they're added as friends.
I'm frozen.
Where?
I'm frozen. I can't move.
Oh, really? Here,
Yeah,
let me summon you. Maybe I can do. I have to get off this thing. Oh, I don't think I can do that. Hold on.
What the heck?
See.
Dude, just see that lizard drown.
Something weird went on. I don't even have anything in my backpack now.
Oh, that's strange.
I
Guys,
don't know.
you get to
Do I
see
kind of like how it looks
unedited,
underwater?
just
Or it's like darker and
raw
blurrier, like
and
it
awesome.
actually would be.
Alright, hold on. Let me see
Do
if
I
can
like
summon.
that?
What do you, bop?
I'm not sure.
Alright,
Man, this game is looking so sick though.
Let me try to summon Bop. 1 second. Are you mounted or dismounted?
I think I'm dismounted.
Oh, uh-oh. I did something. And it probably wasn't good.
was.
Did you get a loading?
No, I got nothing.
Oh. Well, I don't think I
Yeah,
can summon.
Yeah, I'm completely frozen. I could see the world moving in front of me, but I can't move.
Uh-oh. Alright, well, I'm just going to roam around the world while we talk.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So how many biomes are represented in Alpha 1?
Just one. I mean,
The-
well, no, that's not true.
The aura
I mean, I guess we got
thing under him is pretty cool.
The main center island.
Right.
that
Yeah,
has,
that's
like,
cool.
Sahara
I like that.
and, a few other different types. I think we
Kind
got
of like
some
floodplains. And
Yeah, floodplains. There's we got some snow up in the mountains and that kind of thing. So I guess there's probably like 4 kind of biome types that make up that
Yeah,
island,
that
and then
seaweed's
the rest of
freaking
it's
nuts.
tropics.
What the heck?
Which is your favorite so far?
My favorite is this one.
By the way, the mount
The
that he's on
jungle,
right now
the
is
tropics.
definitely the
Tropics.
best mount they have ever.
Well, this is like not really
They
jungle.
made.
It's more like its inspiration was taken from like Bora Bora and Thailand and just seashells. And,
Yeah, I love
that
the
kind of
work
stuff.
with the trees and stuff. Who worked on most of this foliage? Was that Mia?
Yeah. She's fantastic. She's my sister.
Oh, it's so good.
It's the same birthday.
That's awesome.
She's fantastic. Now she's an amazing artist. I've worked with her for a decade, over at
Whoa.
Sony. And
This view right here is
all her
pretty
work
sweet.
just amazing.
I noticed that, something interesting, and saw some commentary from players who participated, the thousands of players who participated in our December Alpha 1 pretest.
Man, I wanted to be part of that pretest so bad.
It's cool to look across a view in a game and literally be able to see like something that is kilometers away, just kind of progress to that area, and it doesn't change, and it's not like an instanced or a wallpaper, and actually like walk up to the volcano or walk to that other shore.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like I'm looking at that right now. I just kind of, and the other thing I love, and I know Brian did a lot of work on
That's
this
so
for
crazy.
the lighting systems, but eye adaptation as you kind of like approach, the water, and things dim a little bit in the general view, and if you look away, right, it kind of lightens up. You look back.
Yeah.
I'm just doing.
Yeah, he's also actually done a lot of really cool stuff with like
Yeah, that is
going
actually
into
really
interiors
cool.
and exteriors and having
It's like a cinematic exposure that they're putting on.
So
the
one of the
players.
things I'm looking at right now, like across this ocean, I'm looking at these kind of unfinished shorelines. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit about like from Alpha, when we move out of Alpha 1? Actually, while we're still in Alpha 1, you guys are working on this, but
Yeah,
when we
this
move
is
out of
looking
Alpha
sick.
1, the rest of that world, that 400 plus square kilometers, all that stuff's getting worked on and getting built, and players get to see that kind of unfinished aspect of it, like I'm looking at right now across the. Well, maybe I can start moving over there and just show, but like, can
Is
you
it
talk a little bit about like
unfinished
what goes
because
into that
there's-
process? How do you guys plan on
It's just like
creating,
rocky
just like
hills?
moving in a direction away from Alpha 1 and start choosing which biome to work on next and, what area to develop next?
Well, I mean, we have the general sort of layout where we basically take the terrain, the entire 400 kilometers, and like at least get it built in a very rough sort of way, just so we can test and run through like the entire area, the entire world. But then, like what we're doing right now is, we're starting with the tropics, which is what was it, over on the southwest side, and then we'll start
there's so much
spreading out into the other
this.
biomes that are connecting to it, and it'll be kind of like a more organic sort of development environment where we're blending, moving into these other areas that are connected to this, and then we'll just keep doing that until,
I see. I find myself kind of getting lost.
Kind of put together. So so on this particular one, we're in the tropics.
Just
but if you go
I want to
north,
look at everything and analyze everything.
Mountain area, which I believe are.
Did he die?
I believe they're.
Oh, he did.
I think those are the Nakua dwarves.
Just died.
Oh, did you die?
Because he swam outside the zone.
Just died.
Oh no!
And I don't have a resurrect screen. Oh, it's because of you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, but the water's looking really good.
So the hilltop ones are north of you.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if that actually we revealed that. I don't know if we revealed where exactly on the map this was, but now people know. We can't edit it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, just keep going then.
Yeah, no, you're good. You keep going.
All right. Well, it's over to the east. We have the Riverlands, which is kind of like your classic, classic Riverland sort of biome, and then further north from there, we start moving into the desert regions, and further south from the tropics, we start going into like the heavy jungle area.
I'm excited to see the hilltop stuff.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think that's probably.
See, this is what I was talking about. See how it seems kind of flat when you look at it?
Yeah, well, plus it also.
But as he moves closer to it, all the foliage renders in. So I wonder if you can change.
All that landscape that's supposed to be there isn't there yet, right?
I wonder if you can change the distance at which that
as we're filling this out, where you actually start really seeing more of the world, coming online, and and the tabletop mountains in general, because they're just so vertical. They should be towering over a lot of the areas of the tropics over on this side. And so you'll be able to climb those mountains.
Wow, he actually jumped down pretty far and didn't get hurt at all.
And explore that whole different world, or that whole different biome set.
What was the favorite MMO that you have played, Bacon?
Oh, jeez. You put me on the spot. I'm terrible with being put on the spot.
Oh, no, okay, you don't have to answer. What's the favorite thing you like to do in MMO?
I like just taking note. Well, all right. Me and MMOs, I like running around killing people. That's my favorite.
Bacon is a PvP?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's just like run around, explore the world. Oh, look at this guy over here. What's he doing? Take his stuff, and Yeah. Sorry.
Have you ever played?
I think that's
MMO
fun.
That had like ship combat or pirating and stuff like that, where you can like take other people's things.
No, I mean, except for not.
It's not really what I'm interested in, but
ship stuff.
It's fun.
I mean, we used to play. Was that what was the first version of that where you could run around with your little naked guy? It was like I don't remember what the name was called.
You're playing a different MMO than me. I don't know. I didn't run around with a bunch of naked guys.
One of the first ones. One of the first major ones that came out. What was it? I just drawing a blank.
Oh, like Ultima Online or.
Yeah, Ultima Online.
There you go.
Yeah, I think it was that. Yeah, it's like you're running around. You just this is like naked dude. You're just yanking people and taking their stuff, and running away so you don't get caught.
One of the best experiences I had with naval stuff, and I've always talked about this in the past, was ArcH had really cool naval systems, and it was really great when.
I've never played ArcH.
At least from a PvP perspective, and they also had some cool PvE aspects of naval combat. But a PvP perspective is you could literally pirate people's hard-earned packs and stuff, and I enjoyed that. I guess it could be a little toxic, but it was a lot of fun. And when I'm seeing areas like ours with
you can kind of see like a
types
circle around them
just
rendering out
water
everything.
gameplay, these zones that are really constructed from a level design standpoint to facilitate interesting combat scenarios between players on different types of ships, where they have choke points and they can utilize the terrain. I love that aspect of world building. I think that's cool.
Yeah, that's where I want to really, see this going as soon as we get ship combat in, and just being able to take command of vessels and sail around and create havoc.
I feel like a lot of the map in the world will have to be reevaluated.
As far as MMOs and stuff, I've been playing actually a lot of Red Dead Redemption lately, and they got a lot of stuff going on.
Oh yeah, they did a great job with that.
Yeah, just the level of detail and that kind of thing. So
I think my favorite
so a lot
thing
of that.
I think my favorite thing about Red Dead Redemption 2 was just the funkiness that could happen with the horses.
Yeah, totally.
I
like when you're running and you hit a fence and your guy gets knocked off and over the fence. Yeah,
I love those developers that they left that in to just. It's just super cool.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why like right now we're working.
I wonder if that
on
was my problem in past videos.
But when we start getting down into like the details,
he just didn't have. He just wasn't rendering the foliage.
Sort of detail, in the characters and and mounts and ships and travel and that kind of thing. It's gonna be great.
I've also noticed this.
Just
a lot of the time,
stuff's gonna be
the
awesome.
characters
I'm really
are hovering
looking forward
above
to
the ground.
getting to where you can level up all the way through camp to Metropolis.
Is a little unimmersive.
Just seeing that whole thing.
Oh,
that's the thing that we haven't seen it in any other MMO really. Not to this degree at all.
Like
not even close.
Otters that you can tame.
Yeah, exactly.
Complete with player governments and all that stuff is literally a dream come true, at least for us.
I gotta say, like the first time that we saw like recently, especially this last, I think we were even doing it in 0.5, but when we first started seeing those buildings actually building up, when you're building them.
Oh yeah,
that was really cool.
Oh, it was very cool. I mean, it
cool.
brought to life really something that before that was just on paper, and then now we saw that in kind of a blockout form, and then boom, here was this animation for it, these effects, and it was like, oh wow, I can see this now. I can actually visualize what it's going to be like to watch a city develop and develop by the dictation of the community and the players. That's such a cool thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So well, I think that is probably going to wrap it for us. I know Margaret's going to.
He's been walking around
but we'll see.
For a long time.
But Bacon, thanks for joining me. I know the community
big.
loves you and loves the work that your awesome team everyone on the environment team is doing and helping to create this beautiful world. So keep up the great work, buddy.
Apple Scuff 1967.
All right, we'll see you back on
no
stream.
Footprint.
All right, sounds good.
Hello.
You mean footprint when the mount is walking and stuff? I thought I saw here. We'll put it in slow motion. I thought I saw a little bit of footprint stuff. Nope, I'm not seeing any.
Diverse.
There was a couple parts where I thought I saw the footprints happening, and I wonder if it was just in certain areas. No, I'm not seeing any footprints. Yeah, that's definitely something that I would like for them to put in as well. I think it'd be more immersive if they did that. Let me just check one more place, because I swear I saw it. Maybe it was when he was on foot. Yeah, so look, bam. There's like little shadow footprints there, but they fade super fast. I don't know if you can see that on your screen, Apple Scuff, but like there's like little shadow footprints. But you think like in sand it would last a lot longer. I think that'd be a really good thing for them to add in, especially for like mounts. Like I think they kind of have footprints for the characters because, I mean, you just take a shape that looks like this, right? And every character has that same shape for footprints, but I think mounts would have a different, yeah, you see it? I think mounts would have a different footprint each, so I don't think they've implemented those yet. But I feel like that's something that they could easily visit later, where they're like, hey, footprints last a lot longer in sand. They last shorter in like wet sand. On like earth or like rock and grass, you don't see them at all. Or like what happens when you get out of the water and then you go walk on rock? Like, do you then see like wet footprints on the rock for a bit till they dry? I don't know. I bet they could do some stuff with that. Like one part I was super impressed with was this part right here. Here, we'll put it back on normal speed so we don't go crazy. But it's cool to see the cinematic camera effects. Like when you look out in the distance, especially at something bright like this, it sort of dims what's around you. But then when you turn and you look at what's around you, like look, see how it like lights up? I don't know. I think that's super cool. I think that's way cool. This game makes me really excited. I don't know. I understand we're all very particular about the combat. We want the combat to be good. Like, that's our baseline. We just want it to be good. We don't want to feel limited. But what's so freaking awesome about this game is like the world they're creating and the systems. Like, we haven't learned very much about the systems yet, like the crafting systems, the animal taming systems, but it makes me really, I don't know. From what they've shared so far, I'm really excited for it. Yep, no footprints. Just double checked again. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And is it just me, but I think they updated the water too. Because the water looks way better than it did before. Yeah, the water looks really good. I don't like the view under the water, how like it's all dark and blurry. But like the view above the water looks freaking sick. It looks way better. Yeah. Apple Scruff, what's like the one thing you're excited for in this game? I would have to say the one thing that I'm most excited for. I think I'm excited for all the level of detail they're putting into it. Like, I think I'm most excited for the community aspect and the level of detail. Like, there's like government systems, how there's like trade systems, how there's caravan systems, how there's open world PvP that everyone's part of. It's not like something you can opt in or opt out. The water is good. Yeah, they added the wave currents. Like the waves up on the shore, that's like brand new. That used to not be there. It used to just be static. So it's cool that it's good to see the level of detail and stuff. That it's just new. It's just a new game. Yeah. Like I get that. Like it'll be fun. That's just a new game. But I'm like, I think we all secretly hope for a game that kind of destroys your life. You know, like you want that game that is just so good that you like call in sick to work. You know what I mean? Like when you were young, you would like pretend be sick so that you could stay home and play Age of Empires or something. Like you want a game like that, you know? I don't know. So this is like the latest game that I've been super excited for. It's looking pretty sweet though. It's looking really good.
This last, I think we were even doing it in 0.5, but yeah.
Yeah, there's one more video that we need to watch, which I'm really excited to see as well. Let's check this out. Alright, it's a developer update. True. You hope it's WoW, just so much better with good community. Yeah, like... So I've played WoW more than any other MMORPG. But like WoW has a whole bunch of crappy systems in it, you know? And you just hope it's it's like WoW, the combat is similar to the feeling that you get in WoW. But then you hope the systems and the community and I guess the game build itself is just way better than WoW, because I feel like that's what Ashes of Creation has going for it, is the systems, the foundation of the game. And I think that's a better, like, I don't know. I think it can pass out WoW, but I don't know. I don't think we need a WoW killer. I just think we need a new, fresh take on the game. Hopefully games like this will put WoW, like, will make the developers of World of Warcraft really think about it and try to improve their game as well. Like, we don't need a WoW killer. We can have 2 games going at once. But I'm really excited. Like, I hope this game really blows other games out of the water, makes everyone step up the game.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Ashes of Creation's development update.
The development update.
Okay,
this is an hour and a half.
It is 2021. Can you believe it?
I don't think we have to watch the beginning here.
To kind of reward players for their time in the game,
Okay.
because it can equalize, or not equalize, but it can be something beneficial to more casual players, but not a log and reward, not something that's pressure tactic-y. I think that's really what the sentiment that came
Thank
across
goodness.
to me.
We don't need any login rewards.
Yeah, and of course, you can still submit your feedback in there. The thread's still open. We would love to hear back from you guys on that front. And we do have our next one. I heard that there's
that's something that's really cool.
Toast is
like, this is what we've been wanting from WoW for a long time, but it's really cool. Their like discussion they have with the community every month. They review the top forum topics and they talk about them live stream, and then they respond in the forum. Like, I can't think of another game that does that.
Like, oh no. And of course, we have our dev discussion coming up soon for February. That will be on ideal classes, so stay tuned for that. We also have some guild specific things coming down.
Like, even if they don't address the problem in the forum, let's say worst case scenario, there's a huge thread in the forum and the developers are like, sorry, we're not changing it. Like, you're just gonna be stuck with it. Or I don't know, like, even if they deliver bad news to us, the fact that they bring it up and they respond and they talk about it, like, makes you feel like you're being heard at least.
So we love to get your feedback on those things as we flesh out more of those systems. And reminder that we have our playtest coming up.
Okay, skip the freaking Alpha 1 reminder, the Alpha 1 testing that I was not invited to.
Good metrics and data from the test itself, practices and procedures internally at the studio. Everybody had
good
great
PR
things
building the
and input
game.
to say that,
Seriously, man.
that now we track and look to improve
It's
upon. So really, these milestones are beneficial.
In a massively multiplayer online RPG, the community is the #1 thing. Like, even if the combat's crappy when it launches, that's something that can be fixed, like, through developers and stuff. But if the combat's amazing and the community sucks, like, it's game over. Like, no one's going to be interested in playing.
Not just for the project, but for the studio as well. And we had a great time going through those retrospectives. Additionally, you may have noticed that I think it was about 2 weeks ago, we started posting some additional jobs at the studio, and I think we will probably actually have
some of them.
Yes,
Agreed.
we are already filling them. We just
Apple
just
Scruff, you need to stick around, man. I feel like we're on the same page here.
Or maybe it was Monday, actually. I think it was Monday. Nathan.
Yeah.
Nathan, a new QA specialist joined the team. Congratulations, Nathan.
I think we had 2.
Have we had 2?
I
Oh, we
think
did have 2. We had another engine.
Okay, they're
like
talking
social
about
platform.
all the people they hired.
Don't even
things sort of like at a top level. And then also
I find this
doing our
interesting,
planning
but
for our next milestone. So
it might not be the most
we learned a
interesting
lot of
for
stuff from the last
live
test,
stream content.
and we're going to continue to make changes based on that stuff. And so anytime we get feedback, right, it changes a little bit of what our plan is. We have like a long-term plan, but that long-term plan always has, stuff comes up along the road and you want to adjust to it and you want to kind of tighten things up as you go forward. So that's kind of what we're in the process of right now. We have some things that we don't need to tighten up, and there's a bunch of designers working on quests and population and some of the like underlying mechanics, pushing some of those systems forward. And then there's other folks who are kind of writing up documentation to deal with some of the things that we learned from the last test. So
okay.
Bacon is beloved by everyone in the community, and chat with him a little bit about the environment team and how the process goes about creating an MMORPG world, doing it in the game. But just so you're aware, be prepared. Bacon has a very colorful mic because Bacon is a colorful person. So because of that, you may see some spikes in the voice, and that's okay. Just prepare.
Okay, so they just watch
people in the
they just watched the video we
Mr.
just
Michael
watched.
Bacon.
So we'll...
Oh, you built that up way too much. Hello.
So we'll skip through all of
Very
this.
happy
Let's go
to
to
have you here. I know
let's go to the Q&A about this video because I'm
the
interested.
only thing that got to me was the was
Jeff,
hearing myself
like,
speak a little bit, but
Oh.
I just
is in his
tripped through
kid's
that.
bedroom.
It's always
I
weird
really
hearing
want to know
yourself.
Yeah,
where
seriously.
Michael was in
Yeah,
that.
it's
Look
where
at
in
this
the
guy.
world
His
is
screen.
Michael Bacon? Is the
Sometimes
I
his
tried to
kids will walk
summon
by.
him, but my GM commands were broken, I think.
Did you forget to turn on like your commands?
No, I was.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just.
I know.
Yeah, the
When
mic-
Jeff's
the mic
not
was speaking.
streaming, he
That's
just
why we
turns
thought
around and
we
starts
warned
like
you all in
an easy
advance
bake
about
oven
it.
or something.
But I thought it would just be a cool little chill video to show you guys. It actually, I recorded it in 4K as well, so maybe after the stream we'll upload
Yeah,
that to
man.
YouTube. I think it's.
I need a
worthy,
freaking
right?
4K
Right?
monitor.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
What is the chat?
It's like one
think?
of
You think we
those
should load that up
wants,
to
but
YouTube or
No,
you
I
like
don't,
don't
think they
need
want
it.
Yes or no? Yeah, 4K on YouTube. Yay.
And there's not like a whole lot of
But I
4K
do want to
monitors
say that, you know, if you've
that
been following our
are
development
like
progress,
like
some of those
really good
big
for
rock
gaming,
formations
you
and
know?
stuff like that,
For
we've been
games like this,
showcasing,
oh
like, the
yeah,
progress
4K
of,
would
like,
just
the concept
be
art
amazing, but
to the creation
for like
of
faster
them, and now
paced
you're
games,
seeing them
4K
in the
might not be
world,
the
and I
best.
think like that to me is really exciting to showcase because I've worked on a lot of games and I haven't gotten to showcase like the development progress and process of it. So you're actually getting to see those step by steps, and I'm pretty sure we have an overwhelming yes in chat.
Oh, good.
Anything else that you guys want to add in there? I didn't see a lot of questions in chat. I know that there's some things that we prefaced in
walking
there, and obviously things
animation's
are
pretty
subject to
good.
change. The water stuff, I know we're going to be making some adjustments to that. A lot of the lighting is not finalized, and
Yeah, just to go over a little bit, maybe what you saw there, and talk a little bit about it. Some of the eye adaptation actually still needs to be balanced a little bit. It can get a little bit dark. The lighting is still getting passes on it as we speak.
Like we already knew this, that they were going to be making lots
you
of
saw
tweaks along the
there's
way.
a lot of polish that's missing, and that's because you know, as we said, this is Alpha 1, and a lot of while it looks great and the environment team is unbelievably amazing, they haven't had time really. They haven't had time to polish it to the extent that they will polish it. That looks so good. So that being said,
Yeah, he pulled up the map there, and I don't think he was meaning to pull up the map because it showed everyone where this place was.
Oh, water shader. Sorry. So the ocean shader will actually be replaced. And while you guys might think this looks good,
That's good.
The final version of the ocean shader will look amazing. And this is
Yeah, the ocean
this is a
shader.
good placeholder, but it's not quite there yet.
Yeah, like this right here. I don't really like this. So I'm glad that he's saying it's
Also,
being
the
replaced.
underwater post-processing effects that are present, which blurs out.
Oh, okay, so the ocean shader is something else. I don't know what that is.
A lot of what you're seeing under that water, that's going to be touched up a little bit as well. So something to keep in mind.
Okay.
Yeah, like we're gonna
Please
want
do.
a lot
It
of
needs some
underwater
touch-up.
content, and you need to be able to see it. So we still want you to have that sense of like, yeah, I'm underwater, and this is a different kind of environment. But we also need gameplay to be pretty clear during that too. So
I think the only other thing that I noticed in chat was in regards to the population, like there weren't a lot of creatures in there. You guys are finalizing population and adding more.
Well,
stuff
this
in.
area that we were running around in actually was still a work in progress on the population side, but I just wanted to kind of give people a look, you know, under the hood of what these zones look like as they're just starting to come online from the environment teams of these large games, these giant worlds, right? So
it's cool.
You didn't see a lot of population pass really done here.
Like this, they just
a
like
little
have
bit.
been working on this
Yeah.
25%
I
of the
just
way.
noticed-
You know, like they've only put 25% of the amount of work they're going to put into this, and it already looks this good.
So a couple.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like this looks
process-wise,
better
right?
than, like, way better than
Environment
most
lays out
MMORPG
kind of locks
environments
in
do
sort
in
of
their
the
final
environment as a
state.
whole, right? And environment will pick and prod at that environment over and over and over again until it gets to a pretty final state. Anytime they do that, we need to go back in and redo our population. So what we do is we wait until a given area is like 95% complete before we start putting down things, so that we don't have to rejigger the population every time a change is made, right? When they're pretty happy with how everything is, that's when we go in and start putting things down. We've split up the entire area into POIs. So POIs are points of interest. And these are kind of areas where story happens, where there's like, you know, some kind of historical event, or there's just a cool looking vista, or they're just places of interest that we're going to populate more specifically. And each of these have a story behind them, and there's a lot of you know, prop requests, and so these things aren't finished yet. So they might be at like 50% or 65%. So they're not ready for us to put population down. So that's why these kinds of areas, these kind of like really cool vista areas that Steven's going to show you, don't have population. So that's another layer that comes later on down the road, and that stuff should all be relatively done by the time we get to Alpha 1.
Cool. And of course, there was a couple questions in regards to when Steven jumped off the cliff into the water. Will there be fall damage when you fall into the water? And also, I know there were some questions regarding mounts. A lot of those questions that you guys have asked in regards to mounts is answered in our mounts video. So definitely go check that out. It's a 4K video, lots of answers. So go check that video out. Not right now, but later when you need your fix. But in regards to the fall damage from jumping off a cliff into the water, will there be an element of that?
I don't think so. Not in the water, probably.
Oh, no. Well, there will be in the water, because what we want to do is make sure that with the ship usage that's present in game, right, you're going to have areas of the ship that are very elevated, and we want players to have a risk associated if they were to, let's say, fumble and fall off that ship. It won't be as strong as ground, right, but there will be some damage. Like you noticed when I jumped off into that water, you know, I probably would have died if it were ground, right? So we'll have to have some type of variant that's going to have different degree of...
I know this guy right here. He's like...
I mean, that was something that was important in some, you know, and I want to keep referring to it, but in another game that had naval play, I really enjoyed the risk that was present when, you know, you would have to climb up the mass or access, you know,
his face, man.
You had to have
He's like,
your glider mounts prepared and stuff like that to use, so you could jump down without falling and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Like most MMORPGs, you fall in the water and you're okay.
Some levitator
Jeff doesn't like fall damage.
I don't like fall damage. I'm just it's what you saw there was a bug. Like it's the water is being treated like ground there.
Yep.
We will have like sort of differentiating things there, but I was just when I saw it, I was like, oh, that was wrong, and then to hear that it was actually right.
Okay, cool. I know we would be here all day if we answered every question, but we do have a lot of other things to get to.
That'd be interesting
to covered a lot of the stuff that
see
I
how that works out
going on in
between
chat.
them.
So we have something else that I want to show you. It is web design things. Now, to preface this, it's still you know, being a work in progress, but we are scheduled for a late February launch of the initial site. Now, this doesn't mean all of our features are going to be available, but I have been working really hard on this ever since I started. I've been really excited to get the website going. So a little sneak peek. So first, this imagery kind of gives you like the style of where I'm going with our website. And you know, a lot goes into website design as well. But that kind of gives you that. We will
their current
also
website's kind of
have
janky.
A login process, and you'll be able to also sign up with your Google, your Discord, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. So there will be single sign-on solution options for that. Also VK. So it will be specific to your region. Now, some of these features will not launch at the beginning of the website launch, but there will be a lot of that. And then I also have a little video kind of that plays through, like I just scroll through and kind of showcase some of the elements that are on the site. But yeah, I'm going to try to make it very clear to you, you know, what is on it. When you interact with things, like there will be hover effects, click effects. You'll be able to sign into your account, look at your account page.
This is actually pretty good because I'm actually a web developer.
Sites.
Like that's my full-time job right now,
on all of our different classes and things like that coming down the line as well.
Like whenever I've been on their website, I've constantly thought this is terrible. So I'm glad they're putting work into it.
Provide you all of the details. Like obviously this is all just fake information to showcase the product itself. But yeah, we're working really hard on it, and you know that's kind of the stuff that we're doing. Obviously, it's not finished. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little teaser of what you can see in the future in regards to our design.
Cool.
Moving on from there, unless you guys have anything else you want to add.
It looks great.
Yay!
That's
yeah,
exciting.
it's looking good.
I'm excited. I'm probably gonna cry whenever we launch, because I wanted a new website for a while. I think I just want to make sure it's really clear what's going on and where things are. The shop will also get a redesign. I don't feel comfortable sharing the looks of that yet because I'm still working on the design with them. But the shop will get a new look as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and just to give you guys some insight, you know, obviously the platform-related things such as the website took a little bit of a back seat because our internal resources really didn't get prioritized for website-related work. They were more towards the game and the back-end functionality of the account systems. But we've had a really great partner that we brought on board to kind of help with this, and that's been Valor Software. You guys probably never heard of them before, but they've done a great job in helping augment kind of the platform team and the workload that's necessary for the website. And Margaret's taken a great hand in kind of directing that design philosophy and whatnot. So good job on that front.
Yeah, it's been really cool. They've been awesome to work with, and you know, we're like a little team that we have, and it's been pretty cool. More of like what it looks like.
But you can rest assured that, you know, as the new site rolls out, there will be phases where you will see consistent updates and reworking being done to facilitate a better, easy transition to a more user-friendly back office as well as the front-end stuff.
Yeah, your account stuff will, like your account page is going to look a lot different. It'll be easier for you to see all of your security options as well as selecting your email options, and we'll have some documentation stuff for content creators as well as some other elements in there for
noticed in the bottom right hand corner that face, and it scared the heck out of me for like just a moment. Like I was looking at the stream and I was like, oh, what is that? Those eyes. Oh no.
He's always there. I loved the previous
Thomas the Train. I was like, what are they talking about? Yeah, Thomas the Train is.
You should like you should tape like a knife to one of its wheels or something. Like a little Chucky Thomas.
Just gotta remember to take it off before my daughter comes home.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's not child friendly. Okay, moving on from there. Unless you guys have anything else you want to add on the web design front or design front. Let's move on to our environment art. Obviously, we got to talk with Bacon and we saw a lot of it, but we will kind of showcase a little bit more things, because why not more art? So this first thing is beach decals, and I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about beach decals and what that entails, Stephen or Jeff.
Oh, it's just a way to sort of break up the underlying like landscape textures. Basically, they change their form. They're a little bit dynamic, so every time you place one down, it's in a little bit of a different shape. So it kind of breaks up some of the monotony and the repetition of what's going on underneath it. But yeah.
Great. And then moving on from there, we have our props, and we have quite a few props in here that have been created. Obviously, we've been showing the phases of these from concept into finalized art. Now you're getting to see some other pieces like rugs. I know we've been showing a lot of beds in the past, but now you're seeing some chairs, some tables.
Stuff from my tavern.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's another bunk bed version of this. We talked about bunk beds in a previous live stream, and people thought that was cool.
The great thing about, you know, having so many cultures in our MMORPG, right? I mean, you know, when I play MMOs, I tend to see maybe 4 races, 5 races. You know, it's very rare that I find an MMO with more than that. But the great thing about these prop sets is that there are unique sets of props that are being created for each of the 9 cultures that exist within the game. If you think about that, it's just such a large amount of available furniture pieces that then will also lend to house customization, which is such an important
I feel
thing,
like WoW
think,
has way more
making
races
a
than
game
that.
your home, so to speak, is the ability to express yourself in a unique way that isn't just cookie cutter for everybody, and it's not a small selection of choice. But there's going to be a wide array of opportunity for players to really make their space their own, and that's what you seeing these updates with these props constantly. You're like, oh my gosh, another set of furniture, another set of chair,
We
but
have a
ultimately
lot of houses and a lot of buildings, and you all have your own style that you're gonna want to decorate your houses in. Like, you have to think about all of those things. And housing in games is insane. I don't know how many of you guys got involved in housing in a lot of other MMOs, but people get a little crazy. They do lots
absolutely.
and they
That's
put
true.
other things together.
People
to
take
make
it
other,
way
like,
too serious.
It's just bonkers.
And that's really the best thing. I mean, I remember, Jeff was recounting to me one time a few months ago about the cool creations that people had in EverQuest. I was just listening to him tell me about that, and I was just like, that's pretty awesome.
Someone used like plates at one point and like angled them weird to make blinds, and then put like it was just amazing. It's crazy what they put together to like make stuff. But
give players tools and they'll do really awesome things with them.
I know people are trying to guess what race this is, but primarily a lot of these are Empyrean, and then I think 1 or 2 of the rugs are Dunir as well. So, or Kalar, sorry, not Dunir. You guys are saying they're Dunir, but they're not. Moving on from there, we have some tropics. Now, you got to see a lot of this in-game, but we didn't get to stop in all the locations.
Got some
so I wanted to make sure that
going?
I got to showcase some of the areas that you might not have gotten to see necessarily. But yeah, very, very cool stuff. It's amazing to see all of the work that our art team has been doing. Obviously, we showcase it every month, and we had Bacon on, and he talked about it too. Like, that team is they're phenomenal, and mad love.
Yeah, they absolutely are. I mean, everyone on the Intrepid team just is phenomenal. But
that's pretty cool.
One thing that's always been very cool to me to kind of watch through this development has just been the sheer size of the world and the complexity of it. I mean, like Bacon said, this is the largest project he's ever worked on, and I know that's true for many at the studio. But I don't
know that there are too many projects that could be qualified as larger.
The maps are insane.
It's pretty big, but I mean, all of that again goes to creating an experience that has such an opportunity for a unique feel to us as players, but also has that kind of traditional gravity that we want to see in MMOs. So the team's doing a great job in filling this world, and it's one step at a time. I mean, it's a very, very large world.
Speaking of large, these flowers are so cool, like mushroom flowers.
These actually do look pretty sick.
Oh yeah, Keith worked on these. Keith worked
they come
on these
to life,
and I don't want to necessarily reveal what their role is going to be, but I just love the kind of color saturation that's present in these, and the bioluminescence that's in them as well, and just they're another unique aspect. I mean, it's just it looks really cool. I love
those
the
look
mushrooms
sick
at the bottom too.
Yeah,
those look really cool.
It's very beautiful.
My wife would love those.
I was telling.
She loves
I don't remember
flowers.
who I was telling, but I was like, who knows what these trees might do? They could be environmental hazards. They could have some like noxious gas that comes out. Oh, whoops! Yeah, it was PI. Could have some tentacles that fly at you. I don't know, but they look cool.
It's okay, Stephen. You don't have to be concerned about the PI stuff. They have to worry about it. And then I'm just managing it all. I'm like trying to remember what was said where. And of course, we're going to move on to our character art, and I think this is a good segue into that. So many cool character art pieces. Now, you've seen some turtles. This is the Timeless Terrapin. I kind of wanted to showcase. We've been showing off a lot of the final product, but I kind of wanted to show you guys before they even get their textures on them what they look like.
This was cool.
Is the
has
Timeless
a freaking
Terrapin.
tree on his back.
that was part of it. And then also
I
we
actually
have
haven't
our
seen that
flame
photo
fin,
yet.
our flame fin.
Okay, this is was some of the first time we've seen
What'd you say, Jeff?
the
I
naval
said I
stuff.
haven't seen that turtle yet. I saw the concept art for it, but I
I
haven't
know.
seen it actually yet.
Yeah,
That
now
thing's
you're seeing it in
amazing.
game. I think it actually looks cooler as a 3D than
Yeah, they
necessarily the
really pulled it
concept.
off. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's because there's a lot
Yeah.
going on that concept. Because I was like, I really want this turtle to be like, it's got stuff grown on it. Like it's been just living in an area for, ever. So I
Now, the
that
ship-
concept
That
pulled
looks
it off.
cool.
The ship reveal is actually one of the first ships that has begun getting modeled, and there's still some adjustments to the geo, like the bow needs to come up, I think, a little bit. But Atkins has done an awesome job in getting this started, and
I'm
just
so
to give you some.
excited.
Yeah, I know. Just to give you some context on the size, like that is a frigate class ship, so it's not necessarily the largest, but it is a larger one, and that's intended to hold roughly a raid worth of individuals, so up to almost 40 people.
When I was designing that, it was really interesting because there's nothing like that concept. So I was like, I want this creature, like showing like a bunch of different angles of the creature and like where I would like it to be showcased on the boat. And then the type of boat that kind of
I don't know how I feel about the front of it.
the style of the creature, and I think they just pulled it off really well. So I'm excited to see it actually like in game. I'm like pumped.
Yeah, just to give
I
you
think
guys
it's 'cause,
context,
like,
also
the
on
mouth
on
of
kind
it.
the having that
Like
many
we'll
people
see in
on a
this
ship.
next picture here.
Really, the intent is for the ship is in essence a vehicle that has operations on it.
Yeah, like the mouth of it. I don't know. I don't like that it's like totally flat. I don't know. We'll
Right?
have to
and there
see.
are going to be activities for players who are not necessarily the captain, but for them to perform either during combat or during non-combat scenarios that can benefit kind of whatever the strategy of that particular raid is on that vessel at the time. So those are all kind of things you can look forward to.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be cool.
And then we have, moving on from there, we're going to show the Corvid Castigator. I know Steven has also kind of already sneak peeked this before as well.
Well, we showed, actually, I think we showed that in the past, the Corvid Cascade completed model, but not in game.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh no, the next thing I have is Tide Snapper. But this is just primarily to show the water.
The barrel roll.
Yeah, like the particle effects that are going on in the water when the creature interacts with it.
Jim did a great job.
Cool.
Obviously this was some commentary we had seen from players during the test. Why doesn't the water interact with my feet? Why doesn't it interact with my mount? Those are polish areas that don't come online usually this early in game development.
Yeah.
Obviously, right?
These
are kind of things that we
that's
address
where
later on. We try
footprints
to
fall
get the
into
bulk
it
of
too.
the core things kind of situated first. But Jim did a great job doing a pass on this particular Tide Snapper and seeing the water effects kind of react with its actions.
Yeah, and then this is the Corvid Castigator. The 3D models are made to. I think we have shown off it in our last live stream as well. But I think they added an extra one in here. They're very excited about it. And Steven actually showed an in-game screenshot on our social. So definitely go check out our social media. You can actually see it in-game as well.
Yeah,
And you saw it today,
I think they look pretty sick.
with Bacon for a moment.
For
until
a
we lost
hot
him.
minute.
For a moment.
Until we lost him. And then we have this Junior Robes set that is looking pretty amazing. I know, Steven, you had some kind of conversation you wanted to talk about this in regards to like leveling up and attaining new armor and things of that sort.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, these are examples kind of lower level gear. We're doing a little bit of an audit and rework on some of the gear that's been seen. Oh my gosh, it is raining cats and dogs.
It really is.
It is, yeah.
Oh my gosh. But we're doing a little bit of an audit and rework with some of the starting gear that's present in the current alpha in anticipation for the alpha in April. And this is an example of some of the junior robes that are going to be present, and really the character team just does an amazing job. You know, it's been a progression, and they just continually are getting better and better and better. And it's going to be, I think, really cool for you guys to start seeing later down the road some high-end gear, because up till now, really all you've seen are these, you know, levels 1 through 10, 10 through 20, and you haven't seen the 30, 40s, and 50s. So
cool
you know.
Stuff.
Progression that comes into play when you talk about character gear obviously is going
That's
to be
like one of the
with regards
best
to the
part about
materials
playing
that are
these
being
type of games
used,
is
the
when
general
you're
silhouette and its size and impression.
when you find that like one
of these
item
things
that looks just
progress as you
super
move
sick,
further
and it's
down
like an
that road,
upgrade
as we're
too.
accustomed to.
Some people are like, they don't want to see it because they want it to be a surprise. I really like this chest plate section, how it's like strapped on there. It's really neat.
The straps on this
do
look
we know
really
who did
cool.
this one?
I probably could figure it out if I went through the stuff, but I'm running all the things. So moving on from here, we have some Empyrean hair. So I know some folks were asking for longer hairstyles, more feminine hairstyles. So here we're going to showcase a couple screenshots of that. And then actually I have a turntable
these actually look
of this
pretty
hair as well.
I think Jinsey did this hair, and just to give you guys, you know, an idea, like again, character art's always progressing, but you can see here kind of the quality and standard that we're aiming for when it comes to, you know, these types of, as Jeff put it, putting a bow on things, right? Jeff, you said yesterday, and it really stuck with me. Yeah, hair is essentially a bow on your character.
Yeah, no, it's like you know, things don't look complete until all the pieces are there, and you don't necessarily know what pieces are missing until it all comes together. And like hair is one of those things that really makes a character look complete. And obviously is a thing that we really want to focus on as you know, as a game, right? Like we want to have hair tells so much of a story, and like is one of those ways you really make your character feel like your own. So it's one of those things where you have to think a lot about and make sure we're making good choices on, because that's going to be how you express yourself, you know, at the end of the day. So yeah, it's a thing we spend a lot of time on.
I just, in chat, I want to see how many of you spend a really long time on character create for your characters.
100%.
Put a yes in chat because I'm curious.
Yeah, 100% me.
Because I know that there are people out there that spend hours, like sometimes like a full day, just creating their character. So they want to like prepare it and save the template so that like on launch day they have it. Yeah, it's overwhelming. Yes in chat. So we want to have a lot of options for you and availability on that front.
I've always hated when MMO launch days come and the MMO does not provide you an opportunity to access the character creator and save your options prior, because now you're having to deal with the option of, oh my gosh, I need to rush to get in game so I can level as quickly as possible, versus I want to spend time on my character and I'm going to have to buy a cosmetic potion later on so I can change what I did to just accepted the presets. Totally. But you know, another funny thing, and Jeff and I used to play Pathfinder often, you know, 3 or 4 years ago before the production started to hit the fan. And one of the things I loved in Pathfinder that we played tabletop RPG was just making the backstory of my character, creating kind of the unique mechanics that can be built off of its skill sets. And you know, the same is true for
Sorry
MMORPGs,
guys, I'm like
really,
just getting lost in watching these videos
as opposed to pen and paper, right?
Yeah, I mean it's
true though.
I deleted 3 characters because they didn't look right to me in the mirror. Even though you never really see your character, like they just didn't look right in game, and I had to go back to the drawing board. Like, you need it.
That is funny.
That's funny. Yeah. I play a lot of tabletop, so for me, I totally get where you're coming from, Stephen, on that front. So yeah, it's good stuff.
And I really get into it. And actually, you know, it's so funny in the tabletop stuff. Like, I will commit actions that I feel are appropriate from a roleplay perspective for my character based on its backstory. But the other players at the table won't understand, and they'll think I'm just being a, you know, punk. What? Like what?
Like killing my character after we had an agreement.
Wait, what was that? Wait, no, remind me. What happened? I don't remember.
Jeff, don't worry. He's killed my characters too.
It was what?
John, I can't remember what it was. It was a custom race, and
oh yeah, we made a race that lived underground. We were called the Vodwar.
Yes, and you took out one of our party members, and I was.
But that's because you were racist against us, because you were overlanders.
I wasn't. I made an agreement with you. I'm like, I understand why you had these actions. I could kill you now, but I won't. Let's keep moving forward. And then when I was sleeping, you killed me.
Well, to be fair, I could kill you now is a veiled threat, and we had to kill you because we can't just let somebody who thinks they can kill us live. That was not that was not congruent with our race's personalities that we've built. So I'm sorry I killed you, Jeff.
We were
Little power gamer. Although to be fair, Jeff is the worst power gamer. I will say that.
We were told to make
Brian
a character
asked me for advice on that character.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah.
We were told to make powerful characters because they're probably gonna die, and you made us make like 5 characters. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Sorry, I derailed the conversation.
Okay, it's fine. All right. Beyond that, we've got. Let's go to the next thing. We have the Thundering Bolt Beast, and actually, I have a video of this, so I'm gonna play that for you all here.
Oh, the feathers look awesome.
Too. Hopefully you enjoy it. But yeah, this is the creation of it, and I apologize in advance to our art team when I sent over like the design for this, and not the concept. Before we even got to concept, they're like, "I thought we had these bodies. Why are there so many wings?" And
yeah,
like,
let's just say when I found out about it afterwards, I was like, "Margaret, what are you doing?"
Look, I'm following the guidelines now. I just got really excited, and I wanted to create this monster.
But to be fair, what you're seeing here from a scale perspective for the writer is not going to be the accurate scale of a tier 2 mount. This would be, so this is an example of a mount that's tier 2 that you'll have as skins, and some people purchase this, but it can be applied as a royal mount as well. And essentially, if a royal mount is available to you because you're either a lord of a castle or mayor of a metropolis, we're going to scale up the applicable skins so that they can be used as the royal mount as well. And this is a version of the royal scaling. So
I'm excited to see the variations of this for the NPC monsters and stuff like that. I think you guys are going to have fun with that.
We will be having lots of fun with it.
Yeah, that looks sick.
I'm excited to see like kind of what you guys design as
I think that's
like,
the best flying mount they've made so far.
It looks sick.
100%.
So yeah, I'm very excited to see the animation come to life for it. But yeah, I think that is going to be it for our.
Yeah, that looks really cool. It's cool how it's a royal mount.
And now we're going to get into the Q&A.
There's also like lower levels of the mount.
So if you didn't already know,
I think that's something I'm really interested in is seeing how the mounts progress with leveling and
Toast, our
taming and
senior
stuff.
community manager, who's amazing. Lieutenant Toast always kind of puts together the answers for people. So even if your answers don't get or even if your questions don't get answered here, she does an amazing job of trying to answer as many as that she can on the forums. Now, not all of them are going to get answered. This for the NPC monsters and stuff.
Sorry,
like
I just wanted to look at it again. The level of detail.
I thought we had these bodies
in the feathers and the bodies is amazing. Like if you go back and you look at the past flying mounts, they're super blocky and clunky, and they don't look nearly as cool as this one does. Yeah, like this one looks really, really sick. So I'm glad they're taking an initiative to make mounts even cooler than just a dragon. Like dragons are cool, right? But dragons are normal for an RPG. Like we need something that's a little bit more fantastical than that, or a little bit extra. Like it's a dragon, but on top of that, it's also a, you know what I mean? Like. And so seeing this, like, if it was just like a hippogriff with like a cool face, like that'd be a cool mount. But the extra work that they went into making the tail and everything, I don't know. It's just added a little bit more detail that I really like.
What are you doing?
Look.
The applicable skins so that they can be used as the royal mount as well. And this is a version of the.
Cool. I'm super excited for the mounts in this game.
Medics will have places where the cargo will be represented.
Wait. Sorry, I do want to hear this.
If they are droppable, capable of being picked up by another player.
So similar to kind of the other
similar to a caravan or your person.
Cool. So or could someone like take your mule from you? Like, let's say you die and your mule is just standing there.
No, they can't. Oh, no. They'd have to.
They have to kill it first. Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
so
and if you were to respawn, the mule would stay there for a period of time before desummoning.
And then we have Sago at 65 who wants to know about caravans. Will other players be able to see the items inside your caravan or have some indication as to its value before deciding to attack, defend, or ignore? Ooh.
So they won't be able to see inside specifically, but as part of the caravan structure itself, there will be little hints as to what the cargo is.
Okay.
So, for example, if you've seen some of our recent footage with caravans, you kind of see sitting atop of the caravan, there's some gold or some silver or some iron. There will be places along the caravan where based on what material or cargo is present will be represented through a mesh that's on the caravan.
What happens
itself.
if you have a cosmetic on top of your caravan?
There will be portions of the cosmetic that are identified as having descriptor material that's placed on that cosmetic. So even the cosmetics will have places where the cargo will be represented, little subtle places.
Interesting. Okay, cool. I figured that might be a follow-up that people might have.
Okay.
All right, and that is our questions for our January development update. This is a long one as well, but hopefully you all enjoyed it.
We should just say these are an hour and a half.
Well, this is like 2 hours. Jeff, this one was like 2 hours.
Was it 2? No,
yeah,
it's only 12:30.
Oh, well, no, that's true. Because I start early for the stream starting. So never mind, my stream is longer. True, it is like an hour and a half, pretty much. Well, the goal is to have them be an hour.
Bonus content.
Yeah, it's like usually a half an hour bonus content.
Before we end, there was several questions, and I know we didn't really mention this, but there was a creative director's letter that was sent out. If you guys didn't have an opportunity to take a look at it, you can go check on the site. Creative director's letter is there. There were a lot of questions with regards to Alpha 1 sales being available again in the future. As I said in the letter, we did receive a lot of good data around our last test that leads me to believe that will likely be the case coming up probably around the end of February. We might coincide with the launch of the new site. So you guys can, if you're interested in that, you can keep your eyes. We will absolutely notify you through newsletter and through the normal socials if you're not currently following on the socials or in the Discord or on the forums.
And on that front, we'll probably be giving you guys a heads up on
this. Man, I would really
like
to be part of that new alpha.
But we are going to probably have to swap those out because obviously we can't give you Alpha 1 keys if we already are over with Alpha 1. So those packages will probably get adjusted within that time frame as well. So just keep an eye out for all of those details. We're pretty good about posting it in our news section on our website. So if you're ever curious about what's going on, go to ashesofcreation.com/news. We keep that up to date as much as possible. We also send emails. If you're signed up for our newsletter, please sign up for our newsletter. You might have to check your junk or spam mail if you don't see it in your inbox, but we usually always send one out every single month. So if you're curious as to what we've been up to and you don't necessarily...
All right, cool. Yeah. Overall, I'm pretty excited for the game. I think it's going to be one of the good ones coming out. And I love the progress and the communication that they're making with the team. So, making with us, Like, I feel like there's so many improvements that they've made just from the last video to the one that we saw now, that it's just made me even more excited to see future improvements to the environment and the combat and everything. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. All right, guys, I want to do one more. I want to talk to you. And tell you some good news. You know what? Let me change the title first. Because I just want this to be accurate. And my keyboard would die. Okay. Turn our music back up here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just updating our stream titles. Guys, here, we'll put us in the just chatting section too. Guys, I want to talk a little bit about how me and my wife recently got out of debt. There's a lot of hard work, struggle, and decisions we made in order to get out of debt. And I just want to share that with you. Like, we are so happy to be out of debt. We are so grateful for the situation that we're in. And I don't know, I want to kind of talk to you guys, and if you guys have questions, let me know. Like, we can like start a little dialogue here. But the happiness and the feeling that I've received, sorry, my brain's like going to a million different places, but the happiness and relief that I've received from getting out of debt is something pretty amazing, and I want to help other people have that same feeling. And I know that a lot of people have it a lot worse than we do, right? Like, I'm not saying we had it bad, but we were in debt, and we owed the government money, we owed different people money, but we're out of it now. And so now I feel like all the work that I do and all the progression me and my wife make financially directly goes to benefit us and what our goals and dreams are. And yeah, so I'm hoping my story here will be a little bit of a help and hopefully an inspiration to you guys, I guess, when it comes to managing money and making good choices and decisions there. So I wonder if I can open up like Paint or something, just so I can like draw and stuff here. If I can spell paint, what the heck? There you go. Yeah, like here, let's get into the nitty-gritty. So when you like start out with a whole bunch of debt, like you slowly pay it off over time, and then finally you're done. Like, this is 0% of debt, this is like 100% of your debt here. And what sucks about debt is like there's interest on top of it. So even though you're paying it off, the interest is like this. So really you're paying this much amount even though you only originally borrowed this much amount. So this is how like debtors earn their money, right? And it's the worst thing ever. So this, I guess this is just like why debt sucks to begin with. And like the debtors will come after you wanting their monthly payments. Luckily, my wife and I, like over the last, I don't know how many months, I think it was like 8 months, is when COVID hit. In America, Trump passed like all these rules saying that there's a whole bunch of freezes put on debt and payments because so many people got laid off jobs and they weren't making money. So luckily, the majority of what we tried to pay off was paid off without interest reoccurring. So really ours just looked like this, and it just followed it. Like we paid a little extra, but it wasn't as much as if if interest was accruing the whole time. So I guess we like seized the opportunity when all these freezes and stuff were put on debt. My wife and I got together and we decided, you know what? Let's make it our main goal to get out of debt. And we decided to follow the Dave Ramsey plan. And I don't know if you guys have listened to Dave Ramsey or if you have opinions for or against Dave Ramsey. Like, it's okay. I've heard all of them. Like, there's some things that are hard for me to swallow too. And like, but what me and my wife decided to do was, hey, let's listen to what Dave Ramsey has to say. And then we can choose to do whatever we want, right? Like if there's some part of the plan or some part of his guidance that we don't like, then we don't have to do it. We can do our own thing. Like we didn't want to have any sort of commitment or stress put on us for sticking to a plan that we felt like wasn't beneficial to us. And so I'm just gonna turn down this music just a little bit. So yeah. So Dave Ramsey's plan is step number 1, you save $1,000. And this is for emergency. This is just for emergency funds. So you really cut back your budget. You stop eating out. You stop spending money on all the crap that you don't need. And you really try to budget. You tighten down your budget. All the extra money you make each month after paying off bills and debt payments and rent and all your necessities, everything extra goes to just saving it in the bank. Just saving $1,000 into the bank, so that way you can have a little bit of breathing room. Like, for example, we had to get new tires on our car, right? Where originally we would be like, we have no money for that. Like, we can't afford new tires on our car. We just have to keep driving them, even though it might be unsafe or they might be getting a little bald. But with this $1,000, like, if I were to break my arm, if we were to get in a car crash, like, when emergencies come up, we would have a little bit of money to soften that blow. And $1,000 may seem like a lot, but that's not very much. Like, a really cheap car, like, you could maybe buy a car for $1,000. So if you total your car, it's gonna totally wipe this out. So $1,000 is just a little bit to soften the blow, just a little bit, as you're trying to get out of debt. Now, after the $1,000, let's say you've set aside $1,000, you're not gonna touch it, it's for emergencies. You start chipping away at the debt. Like, you just start throwing it at the debt. And so my wife and I, like, made lots of sacrifices. Like, I had a piece of cardboard in my computer. I do all my work from home, right? I do all my work from home on the computer. And I had a piece of cardboard wedged underneath the GPU, holding it in the perfect place. Like, if I held it too high, if the cardboard was too tall, the GPU wouldn't work and my computer wouldn't turn on. Or if it was too short, it wouldn't turn on. Like, it had to be in the perfect spot. I had a piece of cardboard holding up my GPU for 8 months. Actually, it was probably a little bit longer than that. It was probably like a year. But we didn't spend money on necessary things. Like, we all made sacrifices. We didn't eat out as much. We didn't go on vacations. Like, we sacrificed a lot of these things and really tightened down our monthly expenses so that we could throw money at the debt. So we have $1,000 that we saved in our bank account. Hey, you know what? Let's make this green. Let's get rid of all this. So number 1 is saving $1,000. And we're making it green because, like, you're making it and you're keeping it. It's staying in your bank. Now, step number 2 is pay off debt. Guess how much debt we had? It's not like super crazy. Like, I'm not a doctor or anything, but we had $22,000 in debt. And I mean, when you're still in your like 20s, you're like mid 20s, and you have $22,000 in debt, like, I understand if you're a doctor and this is actually like $122,000, like, that's different. I feel like as a doctor, you have a bigger shovel, right? Like, you have more, you can earn more to pay off that debt. So it's not as scary as if me, an actor, or like a work at home streamer, web developer, had $122,000 in debt. But no, my wife and I had $22,000 in debt. So $18,000 was for student loans, and $4,000 was the car. So loans and car. So we had $22,000 total. And so every month we worked our butts off. Like, we did so much extra overtime that like my wife was taking on these extra jobs. She would like fill out surveys to get like Amazon gift cards so that we could buy things on Amazon that we needed, and so then our like budget was cheaper. Like, and I would build extra like freelance websites because like I'm a web developer. That's how I put myself through college and everything. Like, I would do all this extra freelance work to try to bring in more money so that we could pay off our debt. And so every month we tried to throw $2,000 at the debt, which is a lot. Like, I honestly don't know how we were able to achieve that some months, but the average over the course of everything was like $2,000 each month that we were able to throw at it. Obviously a little extra because that means we would have done it in 11 months. I guess it was more like 3,000 actually, looking back. But like I would take on an extra job, work super hard for like a month, and earn $5,000 that month on that one job. And even though it was like me taking on a whole separate full-time job, like it was worth it in my brain because I knew that it's only temporary. That eventually at the end of the goal, when we've paid off debt, that I wouldn't need to work that second full-time job again. So if you're watching me like 5 years, 10 years in the future and you're like, dang, like isn't he making like millions from streaming and videos and everything? Like, no, I if anything, I'm losing money making videos and streaming. Like, I'm putting a lot of time into it, and I'm like buying music and like other things that aren't maybe important, but I'm more likely losing money trying to stream and do all this. So yeah, so picking up a second job to get out of debt is sometimes a necessity, and it sucks because no one has time for a second job, right? No one has time to work even more. And so you just have to remind yourself that it's temporary. Like you have two options when it comes to paying off debt. Option number one is increase your shovel size, meaning start earning more money, whether that's taking on a new job or finding a different job that pays more. Like, if you increase your shovel size, you'll be able to dig yourself out of debt faster. And then option number two is to cut back on your expenses. So stop eating out. Like, just stop eating out. There's no more DoorDash, there's no more Uber Eats, there's no more going to McDonald's. Like, just stop eating out altogether. Now, like, yes, you can't go crazy, right? And I think that's where it takes good communication, either with yourself or you and your spouse or your significant other, because the things that I want to cut down on, the expenses I want to cut down on, I'm like, oh, we don't need this anymore, let's cut it out of the budget. Well, my wife might have something to say about that thing, and she might think that we should cut out something that I care about out of the budget instead. You know, like, I'm like, oh, we only need $100 worth of food for this month. And she's like, no, we need like more than that. Like, you want to just eat top ramen every single day for every single meal? Like, no. So obviously there's compromise. Obviously you have to do things within reason, but I think it's important to actually sit down with yourself, with your significant other, and talk about what you actually need, and remind yourself during this conversation that it's only temporary, right? Like, you need to talk about your end goal. Your end goal is to be financially in a better place at the end of 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. And even though you might really struggle those 3 years because you're not eating out as much as you usually do, or you're not going on your annual trip to Disney World like you usually do, making those sacrifices will bring you peace in the long run, right? Like you can sacrifice for 3 years if it means for the next 30, 50 years of your life, you're going to be much happier in a better place. Like, yeah, like what the heck? Let's do it. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like, I wanted to share that it's totally worth the struggle. And 22,000 is baby stuff. This is baby number. Like, this is nothing. Like, I know lots and lots of people who have way more than this. They have $50,000, $60,000. Like, we just had a little bit in student loans and a small car, you know? But I think a lot of people have $30,000 in loans and they have a $14,000 car. And so they might feel like way more overwhelmed. And so I get that. Like, it sucks. Like, I felt the pressure with just $22,000 of debt. Like, I can't imagine what you're feeling with more debt than me. And so the only thing that I can recommend is really evaluate these things. Like, I don't know, can you sell this car? And even though you're gonna lose money because the car is worth less than what you like bought it for, or I don't know, like if you turn this car loan into a $6,000 car loan, and now you just have like and then you just go out and buy a $4,000 car. This is only $10,000 opposed to your $14,000 that you started with, right? Like, I don't know if any of that made sense. But what I'm saying is you have lots of options, and maybe you need to start selling. Like Dave Ramsey says, like, sell so much stuff that the kids think they're next. You know, like there's so much junk we have. Like the screen behind me, like, I don't know if I necessarily need this green screen to, like, it's not making me any money, right? Like, why don't I just sell it? Again, it's only temporary, and then we'll get out of debt faster. And then in the future, when we don't have debt and we're in a better place financially, then I can buy it again, you know? But I think it's all about analyzing your priorities, seeing what's most important to you and the people that depend on you, and seeing where you can really cut back. And it's gonna take extra work. It's way more work to cook meals for yourself than it is to buy fast food, where it takes 5 minutes to go pick it up or have it delivered to you. So it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice on so many fronts. But I'm telling you guys, it's so worth it. Because now that this is like gone, I feel like we just have so much more money. Like, we don't have monthly payments for student loans. All that money that we would have been putting towards monthly payments for student loans, we can now put to anything we want. Like forget what is the best place to put it towards. Like, it's our money now, you know? Like, we're not in a hole. The government's not knocking on our door trying to find their money. Like, no one's coming after us. The money we earn, we can put towards whatever we want. We could go throw it away if we wanted to, and no one would be upset, you know? Like, I don't know. It's totally worth the sacrifice. So yeah, I don't know. This has just been a long work in progress. I feel like there's so many things I wanted to buy for the stream, buy for YouTube, buy just for fun, you know, that I haven't been able to. And after a year of hard work, most recently the past 8 months of hard work, like, at least we're in a better spot than we were. And I think that this has strengthened our marriage and our relationship, because it's put us on the same page with our financial goals. This wasn't me forcing my wife to, like, hey, like, you need to stop buying stuff because we need to pay off debt. And this wasn't her like forcing me. Like, this was a together thing where we both had the same objective and same goal, and that was to get out of debt. Both of our parents are like didn't make very good decisions when it came to you know, I take that back. You know, forget what I just said. But I guess what I'm trying to say is we really want to start our family off in a strong place financially. And we really want our kids to be better off than maybe me and her were. And I don't know, we just feel really good about the choices we made to get to this place. I don't have all the answers, but I would love for you guys to comment questions, comment concerns. If you're just mad at me because I got out of debt, like, you can let me know. But yeah, I would love to help you guys out, help point you in the same directions that me and my wife were pointed to when we were trying to figure out this. Help you see like what apps we used, stuff like that. Like, if you guys are interested in that, let me know. I could maybe do a follow-up video or just comment back to you directly. If any of this is helpful to you guys and you've made it this far into the video, like, feel free to subscribe. This channel is all about just my life, what I'm interested in. I love to do acting and I like to play video games. So I'd love for you guys to hang out and feel free to ask me any questions and I guess join me on my journey as I try to traverse this thing called Earth. So anyway, thank you so much. All right, guys. I think we're gonna call it good for the stream today. Again, thanks so much for the chat. Apple Scruff, man. You really brightened up this streaming day. You commented a whole bunch, and I feel like we really bonded over our similar ideas when it came to MMORPGs. So thanks for that. All right.